Stephen Bowles, Jed and the Junkyard War. This is the first book and 298 pages, 37 chapters. Really a steampunk version of Pirates of the Caribbean. It was a blast to read. It was exciting. It was fun. It was unique. It was super creative. Young adult fantasy. The main character is 11. And I actually found this because Brandon Sanderson did a Goodreads review about it, and this author is took a course, was a student of Brandon Sanderson. So I love Brandon Sanderson, and if you do too, this book will be for you. An 11-year-old is dropped in the middle of nowhere by his mom and said, "Hey, find your way back home. Good luck, and we'll see you soon." And his parents take bets on how long it'll take for him to return, and so he's very self-reliant and independent. And they disappear after his birthday. So they leave a note behind with a key, strange instructions, a can opener, batteries, and a water bottle, and say, "Hey, behind the dishwasher is the entrance to the junkyard." And so he's like, this is weird. This doesn't make any sense. So, he falls asleep expecting his parents to be there the next morning and it to all be some kind of crazy mix up dream. They're not. So he goes through the dishwasher into the junkyard and gets picked up by this steampunk ship here that flies. And it's this whole nother world that's separate from, the real life. And they don't know anything about geography. All of their cities float in the sky. They travel on ships that fly. Just all kinds of this stuff that, you wouldn't expect and wouldn't know how to comprehend, and vice versa about, he says, "I'm from Denver, Colorado." They're like, "I don't know what that means." And they're like, "We don't know what it means to have rain fall from the sky or trees that grow from the ground. That doesn't make any sense. It's junkyard as far as the eye can see." So really enjoyed the world building. This was just a fantastic adventure. It was far too short. I wish this could be, a 9-part series, it was a blast. I really like the factions, different types of metal, iron, rust, copper, gold. You get the idea. It just made it seem that there was a group and they were all going towards the same goal but differently. The bad guys are the Dread. They're kind of zombie-ish creatures who feast on humans, but then like build themselves with junk. I don't know. So zombie-ish, I guess is a good way. But other things I liked, cooking. I liked that the main character had that as a skill and wasn't afraid to do that. Negotiating. I feel like a lot of young adult novels, it's just, "Hey, let's go do this thing, on a whim, but there was a lot of, "Hey, I need to get to this place. What can I give you in return?" So that was very, very cool, very interesting thing to see, wheeling and dealing, that kind of thing. Scavenging, right? That's important. Using what you have and being creative. I thought that was super cool. And that's all they have. It's a junkyard. They have, bathtubs and spare parts, and you just cobble it together. So, this really brought back the magic of what got me into fantasy and science fiction in the beginning. I got started with Ender's Game, and this really brought back that magic. I really wish I could reread Ender's Game for the first time, and I almost got there with this. It was really, really fantastic fantasy. I just really enjoyed this book. I can't wait for the second one. It's going to be a blast, regardless. But yeah, so things I didn't like the bad guys, actually, the Dread, zombies. It just, I get it, zombies, that's the bad guy, but like what I didn't like was that there seemed to be like a high functioning and then there was kind of like the grunt, like low functioning level. So it kind of reminded me of I Am Legend type zombie, there being like two classes. But yeah, the things that another thing that's maybe not a dislike, but maybe a difficult to understand, it almost seemed like a catch-22 type of book in that it tells the story almost out of order intentionally to hide information, to reveal later. So yeah, like there is a lot of confusion. Like he crawls through the dishwasher into a junkyard. Like, what is going on? Like, so there is that kind of wonder that comes along with exploring the world. So I did like that. But the intentional confusion, I don't know. I almost wonder if presenting the world up front would be a different approach. So I don't know. Great book. If you like Brandon Sanderson, this is right up your alley. And remember to buy your books used or digital.